2-minute warning.
Good evening, Bleed Big Blue Nation. My name is Marco, your host of the Bleed Big Blue podcast. And I was just editing the video before I had to scrap it. I was getting worried that there really wasn't any Giants news. So I started to do some comments and to get the video ready to put it out later today. And then, per Ed Wardner, Jason Garrett to the New York Giants as offensive coordinator is a done deal. So the former Dallas Cowboy long-term coach winds up as the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants under Joe Judge. Now, a lot of people are questioning, is this a Mara move? Is this a Gettleman move? Or is this a Joe Judge hire? And I'm not sure. So he's coming with a lot of experience, and that could be really useful for a new-time coach, especially since he's leaning on his defensive coordinator to call plays on the defensive side and his offensive coordinator to call plays on the offensive side, and he's going to coach the team as a whole. If you're looking at it with that approach, having a seasoned guy who knows the ins and outs of the NFL in your corner is probably a good thing. Now, I've stated in the past that I was iffy about this move, and honestly, I still am. I don't know if I could deal with the meme community and the clapping. I also had a bunch of jokes saying, why would they hire Garrett? What do the Giants want to be, 8-8? But honestly, we haven't seen 8-8 in a while. So a former New York Giants player finds his way back as a New York Giants coach. So this video is going to be a little disjointed. The first few minutes were about Jason Garrett hiring, and the back end is what I recorded earlier, was answering a bunch of comments, and some of them do have to do with Garrett, so I'll put those all the way at the back of the video. So let's transition to part 2 of this video, which was recorded before Jason Garrett officially got hired. Good afternoon, Bleed Big Blue Nation. My name is Marco, your host of the Bleed Big Blue podcast. I want to know if you guys have been liking the daily uploads. It's been about 3 weeks, maybe even a little longer than that. I'm either putting one out at like 10 to noon or one late at night around 11. Let me know what you think about that. Today, not much really has happened. It's a slow news day. We're still waiting word on an offensive coordinator. When it's a slow news day, let's hit the comments up and see what you guys got to say. First comment up is on the Patrick Graham video. If you need a little backstory, that's who the Giants hired as their defensive coordinator. It's from Patty on Facebook, and he says, "This dude is the definition of multiples. That's just what JJ wanted, and he's the perfect man for the job. Very smart football mind, and he will put his players in the best position to win." So yeah, I like this pick, and the more I've looked into it, I think it was a good hire by the Giants. It's definitely not who I expected, or I didn't even think he was in the running. But after more research and you listen to videos and you start to form a better idea of what type of coach, what type of person he is. Speaking about that, I saw a comment on a post that I put on Instagram where he was on a flight and he sat next to a couple who both were Giants fans, and they said he couldn't be nicer. They chatted him up, they got autographs, they got pictures, they went over football and the whole deal, and only had nice things to say about him. So maybe the Giants signed a good dude and a good coach. Next comment up, actually it's probably a series of comments up about Yannick and his potential to come to the Giants if he hits free agency. A lot of the comments were that the Jaguars won't be able to keep him under contract and offer him the franchise tag because they would have to make a lot of move to free up so much cap space. Steven on Facebook says that $20 million is too much for him. He thinks he would do 5 years, $15 million with $50 guaranteed. It's so hard to play GM. I really don't like to do it, like go over contracts and how much you think this guy is worth versus how much you think that guy is worth. But I know earlier in the year, he turned down I believe it was 3-year deal at $19 million a year. I think he wanted a longer term deal. Most likely he wanted more upfront money and guarantees. I would. So I think if the Giants really want to sign him, they're probably going to have to start in the 20s and give him a longer term contract. But more importantly, probably guarantees and upfront money. Antoine Campbell on YouTube said, "I don't think the Giants are going to be big spenders in free agency this year. Hopefully I'm wrong and we get Unique and Conklin. Yeah, and I am in 100% agreement with you. I think if they walk out with both those players, that's a win in free agency because both of them are really good players. But John Mara's already gone on record saying that you really build a team throughout the draft and don't expect the Giants to be making a lot of moves in free agency because they've done that in the past and it hasn't worked out. You're probably right. It probably would be a combination of Unique and Conklin. And then we have the whole Leonard Williams thing, which would probably throw a monkey wrench into all our plans. I'm not sure if they'll be able to squeeze all three of those players in, though. Next comment up is from Ace of Spades 18 on YouTube. It was about the two coaches that Joe Judge hired. Both of them were known to him and have history with him, being from Alabama and the Patriots. He said that there is no way that they are Gettleman hires. Judge is being allowed to fill his own staff. And that right there was the big worry about bringing in Joe Judge. How would he mesh with Dave Gettleman? How would they work together? Who would have say in personnel? Would input be taken? So these two hires seem more of a hire of Joe Judge. They're young, ambitious, and hungry, and they want to prove themselves. But the Jason Garrett one, that looks more like a Gettleman, John Mara type hire. So since we're on Jason Garrett, let's do another one. Some people seem to like the possibility of bringing in Jason Garrett. Chris Moran, this is a great hire for Big Blue. If it pans out, I'm looking forward to the next season. So regardless of whether it's Garrett or someone else, I'm still looking forward to next season just because I look forward to every season. But that doesn't take away from the buzz that the Giants have with hiring Joe Judge. People seem to like that pick, but had to be convinced of it. And maybe that's going to be the same with Jason Garrett. I think it's been a while since he had to call his own plays, but he's done it in the past, and we've seen him run successful offenses. Putting all that together, I think in the end it's going to be Garrett because we really haven't heard any other names. The only other names that I could think of is Bill Callahan is supposed to come with Garrett as an offensive line coach, obviously. Then the Giants reached out to Brian Dabble, but were denied by the Buffalo Bills, I believe. He has links to Joe Judge in New England as well, but that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. The one thing that you can say is that Jason Garrett offense, they score points. They had to be one of the higher point scoring teams in the league, and Daniel Jones in his first year, his rookie year, was throwing that ball and we were scoring points too. We couldn't stop anything, but we were able to score points. But the offensive coach that's going to come in has to be all about Daniel Jones, and we have to use the other pieces around him. But it should be Jones, then Barkley, then going forward down the line. But the focus should be on building Daniel Jones up to be the franchise quarterback that we are all hoping he's going to be. Just to give a counterpoint, not everyone is in love with this possible move. Chris on Facebook, what is he going to do? Clap us into the end zone? Okay, it's funny. Let's get into the end zone any way that we can get into the end zone. Maybe as an offensive coordinator, the camera won't be only focused on him and they're driving down the field and you get those plays because a majority of the time they're going to be on the head coach. It is pretty funny that they nab him all the time. In the parody videos, oh man. And I'll take one last comment. Tom LIU on YouTube says, Jason Garrett isn't that bad. If we could hire him, at least we know he could design a run game. I know what you're getting at. It was annoying seeing Shermer try to run him up the middle, play after play after play. And we saw what Jason Garrett did with Ezekiel Elliott, although they did have a much better line. So leave a comment in the comment section and maybe I'll use it in the next video. If not, I'll see you in the comment section. If you want to see more videos just like this, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This way when we do a live show or we put out a new video, you get the alert and you're in the know. I love interacting with you guys and keeping this channel growing, so please don't be afraid to like and share. If you would like to help support the channel, we have a line of merch out, and you can check out our other social media, affiliates, and all that I left one link in the description down below, so it should make it easy for you. I will see you guys in the comment section, and also I'll leave you with 2 videos that if you want to check something out, it's on the end screen. Peace.